Hello, I'm doing yet another Batman book review, and the book I want to review is Batman Cacophony. I don't know if I'm saying that word right, I'm probably not, but this is a graphic novel written by Kevin Smith and illustrated by Walt Flanagan, and of course published by DC Comics. Now, this was first published as a three-part comic book series, which was published between the years 2008 and 2009, but in 2009, those three issues were all published into one graphic novel. Now, of course, Kevin Smith is mostly known for being a filmmaker. He directed films like Clerks and Mallrats and Chase and Amy and Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Clerks 2, and he created the characters of Jay and Silent Bob, who now are very iconic characters. And he also directed movies like Red State and Tusk. Now, Walt Flanagan, who illustrated this comic, is a friend of Kevin Smith's who was in a couple of Kevin Smith's movies, like he actually played several characters in Clerks. And I know Walt Flanagan is also one of the main guys on that show Comic Book Men that Kevin Smith created. Now, when I first read this book, I'll admit, I actually didn't like it the first time I read it. Like, there's a lot of Kevin Smith's humor in this book, and I felt like the humor really didn't fit very well with the story, at least the first time I read it, and also it's a Joker story that really analyzes the relationship between Batman and the Joker on an almost philosophical level, and I feel like that's all been done before and done better in other Batman comics like The Killin' Joke, and this book definitely has a Killin' Joke influence on it. Like at the end of this book, the Joker and Batman have a conversation which is very similar to a conversation they had in the Alan Moore graphic novel The Killin' Joke, and I don't know, when I first read this book I just felt like it's all been done before, and I felt like there was really nothing new to it, but that's how I felt the first time I read it, but I recently reread it for this review, and rereading it, I'll have to admit, I actually really enjoyed it the second time reading it. Now, the plot of this story is it begins where the character of Deadshot breaks into Arkham Asylum to kill the Joker. It turns out that he was hired to kill the Joker, but then he gets stopped by the character of Onomatopoeia, who is a character actually created by Kevin Smith, who first showed up in some of the Green Arrow comics that Kevin Smith wrote. So, the character of Onomatopoeia ends up breaking the Joker out of Arkham Asylum and giving him all this money, and the Joker ends up going after the character of Maxie Zeus, who is this crime lord who, in other Batman comics, actually believes that he is the Greek god Zeus. It turns out that Zeus has created this drug that is made in part by the chemical that the Joker uses to kill people, and Deadshot tells the Joker about this, and this pisses the Joker the fuck off, and the Joker is now going after him to get revenge on him for using his chemical. So, the basic plotline of this book is there's now a gang war going on between the Joker and Maxie Zeus, and meanwhile Batman is trying to figure out this character Onomatopoeia, who is also trying to kill him, and it turns out that Onomatopoeia is a serial killer who goes after superheroes who are human. Like, he goes after the human superheroes, like he doesn't go after, like, people like Wonder Woman or Superman. He goes after the costumed vigilantes who don't actually have superpowers, and Batman, as it turns out, is next on his list. But yeah, I actually enjoyed Batman Cacophony. I'm still not sure if I'm saying the name right, but I actually enjoyed it the second time reading it. Like I said, I didn't like it the first time reading it, but reading it again, I actually enjoyed it the second time around, and I thought Kevin Smith's humor actually worked very well in the story where it didn't work for me the first time I read it. And there's a lot of humor in this story. Like, there's a really funny scene in the middle of the story where two of Maxie Zeus's henchmen are getting into this conversation about the movie Clash of the Titans, which I thought was really hilarious. And also, the Joker has a lot of weird sexual humor in this book. Like, there's a part of this book where he talks about how all he wants to do is kill Batman and then defile his corpse sexually. Like, he has a lot of really weird sexual humor in this. Like, there's a part of the book where I think it was Batman who kicks him in the nuts, and he's like, "Oh, the twins didn't like that." And I actually liked how this book analyzed the relationship between Batman and the Joker on this, like, philosophical level, where I didn't like it the first time I read it because I felt like it was too similar to The Killing Joke, but I actually really liked how at the end they have this conversation with each other and you kind of get a moment of clarity in the whole relationship between Batman and the Joker. So yeah, I would actually recommend this book. I would recommend Batman Cacophony, I'm still not sure if I'm saying it right, by Kevin Smith, and bye.